You talk about this, what you define as a four-box framework, as a way to see the whole board or have that bigger picture. Why four boxes, not 12, not 10?
Oh, that's funny. It's a good question. Complexity is usually just a system that you haven't really mapped out yet. So 4 boxes adds clarity without oversimplifying. They're just
Okay.
simple enough to be able to complete in an hour, powerful enough to change how you make decisions for years to come. So the goal is not to capture every detail. It's how do you make the invisible visible?
Got it. Can you walk me through each box? Kind of like if you're sketching out on a napkin.
So imagine a 4 box quadrant, right? And so box one is who relies on us. That includes external customers and internal stakeholders, such as finance, operations, partners, regulators, anyone whose success depends on your team. Every decision that you make hits this ecosystem.
So who counts as a stakeholder that sometimes gets left out or forgotten?
Honestly, internal teams are the most overlooked. It's like the group that can't close the books unless your data is really clean,
Okay.
or the commercial team that can't sell unless you deliver on time. Regulators, partners, even your own employees are stakeholders in the value that you create. So, so then you look at box two, and box two is what problem are we solving? Not what do we do, but
Okay.
what outcome do these people need the most? Most leaders default to features such as, well, we manage compliance infrastructure. But a more strategic answer filled with business acumen is we reduce compliance complexity by 40% so that our clients can scale without the fear of shutdowns. There's a huge difference. And that difference really is whether the customer actually cares about what you do or not.
Okay. So now I can hear already people saying, you know what? We provide 12 different kinds of value. How do you focus in and clarify where you're focusing on?
It reminds me of the early journey with KLES, where when people would ask what we would do, it would take me 7 minutes to explain all of the products and services. But at the end of the day, we make the intangible aspects of a deal tangible, right? We make leaders that say leadership isn't the problem realize that leadership might actually be the problem. We can spin it in a lot of different ways, but
Yeah.
what you do is you just pick one core outcome or one core problem. And if you can't name the main reason that people are choosing you in plain language, then you really aren't owning your value proposition. You're just sort of orbiting around it and
Hmm.
have focus. And when you can really express that, that focus creates power.
Okay.
So, box three, where does the money come from and where does it go? And again, you don't have to be a CFO, but that's really just revenue streams, cost drivers, and the few metrics that signal health. So again, it's not the full P&L, but an understanding
Hmm.
of which offerings generate the most revenue, where the biggest cost buckets sit, and which metrics, if they move in the right or wrong direction, trigger a real concern at the top.
Okay. So if I'm intimidated by the finance piece, which
Mhm.
I often am,
For you.
what's good enough for this box?
Oh, I totally get it. I'm not a numbers brained minded person, but what you have to be able to express and articulate are the answers to 3 questions. One, what are our primary revenue engines?
Okay.
What are the largest categories of spend that enable that revenue? And
Okay.
then which 2 or 3 metrics make executives stop a meeting if they suddenly change? That level of understanding is how it changes how you prioritize and how you speak in the room.
Okay.
So that brings us to box four.
Yes.
Where does my work fit into this? This
Yeah.
is the move from abstract to action. So this is where you see that your team touches the business somewhere, whether it's acquisition, delivery, retention, efficiency, risk. You name where you sit in that value chain and then what metrics you actually move. That defines your sphere of strategic impact.
Got it.